Google cannot stop winning, because just this past week, they have officially came out with a cost-efficient, powerful model called the Gemini 2.5 Flash. A super efficient, cost-effective model that still holds up incredibly well across multiple benchmarks, despite its size. It's basically Google's answer to a lightweight, fast LLM that doesn't compromise on performance. And now, Gemini AI Studio has gotten a full rework, where it's more intuitive, robust, and developer-friendly. You can get easier app prototyping, you have better tool integration, and faster iteration loops, which is a solid move for anyone building with Gemini models. But essentially, Google has rolled out with this major update to Google AI Studio to make it easier for you to build with the Gemini API and a bit more faster. There's three new notable things that have been released as part of this upgrade. Firstly, we have the Revamped UI, which is cleaner, more intuitive, and this layout is focused on developers as well as regular users. Now, we all know that there's three ways to use the Gemini models. We first have the Gemini app, which makes it super easy for you to access all of the models that Gemini provides. You can get good visualizations of your generation, and it's essentially a way for you to work with the AI more cleaner and with a more intuitive layout. Then you also have Vertex AI, which is more enterprise ready and cloud focused. But now the Google AI Studio is something that is way more easier to use, more interactive, and you can see this new revamped look is making it more easier for anyone to work with, especially developers as well as new users. Now, the second big thing a part of this update is that there is now a native code editor built within the studio. This is essentially where you can modify all of your apps directly within the studio and integrate them into your own projects. It's a way for you to easily work with the code that is being generated by the Gemini models. And then lastly, you have the ability to work with starter apps. There's over 10 new interactive templates, and it's essentially a way that demonstrates Gemini's capabilities like its multimodal reasoning, spatial understanding, and media generation. And it's where you can access all of these templates so that you can easily work on editing them, you can share the code, and work on creating anything based off of natural language prompts. Before we get started, I just want to mention that you should definitely go ahead and subscribe to the World of AI newsletter. I'm constantly posting different newsletters on a weekly basis, so this is where you can easily get up-to-date knowledge about what is happening in the AI space. So definitely go ahead and subscribe, as this is completely for free. Now, those are just a handful of a couple of things that you can do within Google AI Studio. There's so much more to this, and which is why we're going to be exploring it throughout today's video. But essentially, you can see right away that this is a new revamped look. The layout looks a lot more cleaner and easier to work with. I know it was quite intimidating when we were actually sent over to the Google AI Studio. It's kind of hard to work with, but on the right hand side, you have all the different run settings for all the models. What you want to do first is go over and click on the model dropdown. You can select all the different models that are there and available with the studio. You have a more cleaner way for you to select the different families, a part of the different groups like the Gemini 2.0 series. You can select all the different models a part of that. In the same manner, you can take a look at the new experimental models, a part of the 2.5 series, and they've also listed out all the Gemma models as well as the previews. It's also easier now to get your API, because you can simply just click on dashboard and you can access your API and generate a new key and link your API to a planned billing account. You can also access the documentation over here, change the settings if needed by clicking on the settings tab. But this is where you can work with the Gemini models. You have the stream ability where you can talk to Gemini live like you would before, but essentially you can chat with it to get responses in real time. You have the video generation, and this is essentially where you can use the VO model, the new generation model, to generate videos based off of textual prompts. So in this case, if I want to animate a picture by going ahead and uploading something like this over here, the Gemini VO model will go ahead and animate it for you within the Google AI Studio, which is just remarkable. And just like that, based off the picture that we have uploaded, this is something that has now been animated. Now, it looks a little off, but it still was capable of animating the base structure of this picture. Then you have the ability to turn on many of these different tools like structured outputs, code execution to tackle complex coding type problems, function calling, as well as grounding with Google search. So you now have the ability to work with all these tools a bit more easier. It was already there, but it's more easier to toggle on. You can tweak the temperature, but aside from that, these are the base settings that you can set for the large language model. Now, if you click on starter apps, this is a new way for you to easily go ahead and create these different types of applications. Now, in this case, there's different templates that you can work with, and this is essentially a way for you to easily build within the studio itself. You can easily manage your apps over here, and if you want to create a new app, you can click on this. You can start off with many of these different templates, and if you would like, it is an easy way for you to get started and develop anything within the studio. For example, this is a map planner app that was generated, and you can see all the different files the code editor built within the studio. You have the code that you can visualize over here, and in this case, this is just a simple map app that you can go ahead and explore locations. Like, for example, I was in Miami for the last couple of days. I can search it up and it can recommend me a couple of things that you can do, like South Beach, which is awesome. And you can see that this was all fully generated within the studio. Now you can just see this is just a plain empty template, and now what you can do is use this code editor to work on generating things and get a live visualization. Here is another example of someone creating a spatial understanding app, and you can see all the different files and code being generated for this application. So if you go ahead and take a look at it, you can see that this is a way for you to use spatial recognition within the studio, and this was fully created by the Gemini models, where it can go ahead and detect certain things like the items of the image, which you see over here, and all of this was fully functional and built with the Google AI Studio. Now, if we head back to the main chat interface, what I really want to showcase is this amazing new feature where you can compare models. So say if you want to generate something with the Gemini 2.5 Pro, but say you also want to check out how well the Gemini 2.5 Flash is, you can select these two models, give it a system instruction, and test it out. So we can say, create me a simple SaaS landing page, and we can go ahead and send in this prompt. I shouldn't have sent it within the system instructions, but I should have typed it in over here and run this prompt in, and you can see both of the models are going to go ahead and tackle this prompt, and we can go ahead and visualize what it's doing in terms of the thinking process for it. And once that's finished generating, we can then compare the answers of the two. So it looks like it has generated both of the different code snippets for the SaaS landing page. So let's go ahead and now compare it. And there we go. Just look at that. We have the generation on the left-hand side from the Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then we have the generation from the 2.5 Flash. So you can obviously see the clear differentiation. Obviously the 2.5 Pro is going to be better than the Flash, but they both did a remarkable job. And in my opinion, this is a great way for you to compare results generated by different Gemini models. If you like this video and would love to support the channel, you can consider donating to my channel through the super thanks option below. Or you can consider joining our private Discord, where you can access multiple subscriptions to different AI tools for free on a monthly basis, plus daily AI news and exclusive content, plus a lot more. Lastly, I just personally think that it looks a little bit more cleaner to work within the AI Studio. The generations of outputs look a lot more cleaner. It is more intuitive, and they did clearly focus on formatting these things a lot better. But overall, I definitely love what they have done. There's a lot more to this that I haven't really covered, like the system instructions, getting the API code, and a lot more. So if you're interested, definitely look through all the small features within their changelog. This is a great way for you to easily work with code and generate things quite easily and more intuitively. But overall, that is what has been released, a part of this new Google AI Studio update. I'll leave all the links in the description below so that you can stay up to date with it. But make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the new channel if you haven't already. Follow me on the newsletter, join our Discord, follow me on Twitter, and lastly, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and please take a look at our previous videos so that you can stay up to date with whatever is happening in the world of AI. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.